Is this giving granny vibes, or do we like this little scarf? It's hiding my microphone just there, so I thought that was quite nice, so you'd have like better audio. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I basically wanted to sit down today and do a blepharoplasty or eye surgery update, because the last time I showed you anything about my eye procedure, I literally showed you like the process and then my healing for the first week and like the big reveal afterwards, but they were still really swollen, really red, and I thought I would give you an update because I've had so many questions about them, of how they are right now. Before this video, I put on all this like sparkly eyeshadow. That's one thing I still need to work on, is like how to do my eye makeup. Within like the first month or two, depending on the day, like sometimes I wake up and they would be really quite swollen. Scars are really fading, and my surgeon said that at around the 6-month mark, they should be like really thin, white, and then that should be like the final result. At the moment though, it has been about 8 weeks, 10 weeks. I had them done on the 20th of August. It's now November, so still not very long. I'm really thrilled with the results, and I have had a huge amount of questions, so I thought I would do like an update Q&A today. And I also wanted to say thank you so much to everyone for being so kind about the fact that I went ahead and did it. So many of you guys were really positive about it, could understand why I decided to do it, and were just generally really, really lovely. So thank you for that. The main question that I have had countless times is, who did your eyes? Because I didn't share it initially because I really did want to see like if I was happy with the results, if I was also happy with the process. Maybe I'll put a before and after in if you are brand new to my channel and you didn't see my eyes before, and obviously like what they are like now. But the person that I decided to go with for my eye procedure was a man called Professor Ben Miranda. I'll link him in the description down below if you want to check him out. I paid full price. I had quite a few comments or messages from people saying, oh, is this PR? You know, did you get a freebie? But I didn't. I paid exactly like what I should. I didn't even tell him what I did or anything. I decided to go with him because someone I really trust told me about him. So I go to this clinic in Essex called FaceMed, and I go there for other treatments, and I see someone there called Monica, and she is amazing, and she was the one who sort of said to me, I think you'd really benefit from having your upper blephs done. And that's what kind of planted the seed. I came away from that, and over the course of months and months, I started looking on YouTube at like before and afters, what it even was. I'd even watch the procedure being done to see like what it entailed and stuff. And then I decided that it was something I was going to go for, and I actually booked a consultation with Ben Miranda. The consultation was £250, and I met with him. You actually have 2 consultations. And then the procedure, that was another question. The procedure overall, like including absolutely everything, I think I paid £2,650. So I know it's a lot, and it varies. Like I had messages from people say to me, oh, you know, if you go to Poland, this is like £1,000. If you go here, it's a lot less. But I think like being in Essex near London, like all the research I was looking at was, it was between like 2,000 and 3,000. Another question I've got quite a lot is, how much pain was I in and how much downtime did you need? So the downtime for me is something I was actually really worried about, especially because I kind of need my face to film. And I thought, you know, I could have like a week off of, you know, work, but I'd probably need to start filming again after a week. I was surprised at how good it was after just 7 days. But I would say, depending on what you do, you'll probably need like 10 days to 2 weeks off. As soon as I hit like the 10-day mark, I was putting makeup on and the bruising was gone and the redness was down, and I felt like I could really actually cover everything up with makeup. So I would say like around that mark. But my surgeon, when I had a catch up with him, he did say to me, oh wow, you've healed really well, really quickly. So I don't know if it's the same for everyone. And I did do things like I gave up sugar the week before, I gave up alcohol the week before, and while I was healing as well. And I tried to like take all my vitamins, take all my supplements, be super healthy during that healing time. But yeah, I think like 2 weeks max. But then if you work from home and you don't need to do like loads of Zoom calls, or you can wear sunglasses and things like that, it's actually pretty easy to hide considering it is on your face. Another question was about the pain. So weirdly, I didn't experience any pain. So the procedure itself is done under local anesthetic. I think you can actually pay more to have it under general. So if you really hate the idea of being awake during it, you can pay for that. I really wasn't keen to be put under general anesthetic. It's not great for your brain and it really scares me, and I didn't want to. But if it's something you really don't want to do, I know that you can pay more to be put under. But to be honest, it was actually fine being under local. So that's the only thing that was uncomfortable, I would say, is the needle that they put in. They put one in here and here, but then the local anesthetic goes in, and as it's going in, it's like a really weird feeling. It almost feels cold, and I actually said, am I crying? Like, I felt like there were tears coming out of my eyes while the numbing was kind of taking place. So I would say that's the only uncomfortable bit. But then once that's happening, you can't feel a thing. Actually, I could feel a little bit of pulling, a little bit of heat, but nothing else really. And then after the procedure, he said to me, in the week, feel free to take paracetamol if you're feeling any discomfort. But I actually didn't need any paracetamol. I didn't take any of it. And for the first 2 days, I was consistent with like an ice mask. And I would say if you can, for the first 1 or 2 days, keep that on as much as you possibly can. It really does help with the swelling. I had quite a few questions from people asking, what was it like to be awake the whole time? I think that's something that really worries people. But to be honest, the team there really made me feel at ease. They were just chatting away to me about my family, about my life. So they definitely put me at ease. It was a bit strange, I guess, just knowing, like, they would talk to each other, and knowing that they were like cutting my eyes open was a little bit like, oh my God, but I tried to stay as calm as I possibly could, like, during the procedure. And yeah, they were really, really lovely. Someone else said, I worry that it will cause dry, irritated eyes. Did you find that in the healing process? And I actually didn't. It was more like nothing really affected my eyes itself. Obviously with the swelling, it was a little bit harder to see, and with the bandages, but actually it felt more like I just had two huge black eyes. That's kind of what it was like. I didn't feel anything to the eyes themselves. I also had a few questions that said, has it made you want to have more glow up treatments? Have you got any other tweakments planned and things like that? And I haven't, but I can see, and I did say to my friends, I can see how having a little tweakment like this could make you think, oh, like, it was pretty pain-free. The healing process was pretty good, and I'm really thrilled with the results. And although I was really worried before, like, it all went pretty smoothly, and that's it now. Like, I love the look of my eyes now. So it does make you think, oh, that was actually really easy to do. So then you're a bit like, like, what else could I do in the mirror? But I really don't want to get into all that because I don't want to look strange. So I haven't got anything else planned. Part of me was like, oh, maybe I should have done my lower blephs at the same time. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything planned at this time. But yeah, I guess it has made me a bit more like, oh, that wasn't so bad. A few people also asked me, like, what did I tell the kids? And someone messaged and said, oh, she's having it done in February. She's got 3 kids that are like 4, 7, and 9. And she was like, I don't really know what to tell them. But to be honest, my boys surprised me at how little they cared about it. I decided to do it in the summer holidays because I thought, well, that'd be great. I won't have to worry about the school run. I could just stick shades on, still be with the kids, but we're more chilled. You're in your pajamas a bit more and hanging out at home. So I decided to do it then. But yeah, it was a little bit awkward, especially with my older children. I was like, I've decided to have this thing done to my eyes. They were just like, why would you do that, kind of thing? But then on the actual day, they were like making fun of me looking like a Ninja Turtle. And Jackson, one of the first things he said to me was like, oh, you're uglier now. I was like, great, thanks for that. So they are like brutal, my boys. But after the first day, it was like, they just were over it and they didn't even notice it. And then I had sunglasses on and we didn't really talk about it at all. And we haven't really since. So I didn't make a big thing of it. But I do know what you mean, and especially if your children are younger, it's tricky. I was just really honest with my boys. A bit like with the renovation, I got really worried about us having half a house and us renovating it all, and we had to live in 2 rooms, so the 3 boys shared, and then we had like one space that we could kind of live in. I was so worried about how that was going to affect the boys. But the truth is, they didn't even really care. It was like if they still had their meals and they still had their, like their bed and stuff, they didn't really mind that like we were literally missing half the house. Someone asked, how did it affect your fitness routine like during the recovery process? And that was one thing I actually found quite difficult. I wasn't allowed to work out at all for 2 weeks, which I actually found quite hard now that I am in the routine with it. But they said like it really wasn't worth putting pressure on your eyes. And they said even like if you're bending down and putting your head down, like you're putting pressure on that area, and you just don't want to like, hurt yourself or upset that area while you are healing. So I did just stick to that. I didn't work out for 2 weeks at all because of the surgery, but now like I'm very much back to usual, like doing weights. I did go on like dog walks and stuff even when I was healing. Someone also asked if you can have sedation, like so say if you have the local anesthetic but you don't want to be put under general, if you can have sedation. And I'm not sure, but I had to do a big long questionnaire before the procedure, and within that questionnaire they did ask, do you suffer from anxiety, are you worried about the procedure? So I reckon if that is something that you struggle with, then maybe they could do something like that. Someone also asked, if you pay for the consultation and then you decide to not go with that surgeon, do you get a refund? And I don't think that you do, because if you want to have multiple consultations to find the right surgeon, that makes sense to me that you would like consider all of your options. And I know some surgeons do it, so like if you pay the consultation and then you decide to go with them, the cost of the consultation actually comes off the fee. And that's what I thought was going to happen with mine, but it didn't. And I emailed a question. I was like, oh, the consultation price didn't come off the invoice or whatever. And they were like, oh yeah, no, it doesn't. So I think if you're going with like a really busy, good surgeon, that's not something they offer because they are just super busy. So they need to be charging for the time of the consultation. A lot of people asked, will you need further surgery in the future? Like if it starts sagging more with age? And I found this like a funny question, because there's always people on social media, say when we moved into this house and I showed our new garden and like the view, instantly there was people like, what if they build on that land? And I get it, like it's good to maybe think ahead and think about what could happen. But then I think I'm a bit more like, oh, like quite positive, like, well, it's a lovely view for now, like it's fine. And we've been here for 5 years. There's no plans for building or anything like that. So I think I'm a bit more like go with the flow. So yeah, maybe I will. I have no idea how my skin's gonna go. Like I'm taking all the collagen, I'm taking all my supplements, I'm doing all the like facial things that I should be. But yeah, maybe if my eyes are like prone to hood, maybe they would get more hooded in the future. Someone also asked, how long was the procedure? And I would say it's actually really quick. I think it was about 20 minutes an eye. I arrived there early, but we did like paperwork, chat, chill, but the actual procedure itself was pretty quick, and they were really great. Like afterwards they sat me up, cup of tea, chatted to me. Like I didn't feel like I was rushed out of there or anything. They were like really taking their time with me, and I actually went to it alone, but then Matt did pick me up and drive me home. I definitely don't think you could drive home after it just because the bandages. Someone else asked, how happy are you with your eyes? And I would say the outcome that I've had is like 10 out of 10. I am really pleased. This is exactly what I wanted to happen, but I've actually seen a few people on other social media sites that have shared their before and after and like haven't been 100% happy. So I would say definitely, like wherever you are, do your research as to who you're going with, really look at their before and afters, maybe even ask to call a client if you don't know someone that's gone there themselves. Like just take your time with it, because I think whoever you go with, you just really want to get that bit right, don't you? You don't want to mess up your face. But yeah, I am really, really thrilled with how it's all gone. I really want to learn how to do my eye makeup a little bit better. As I mentioned, I have a friend who's actually a makeup artist. She does like weddings, because I'm so used to trying to make my eyes look more open. And some of the things that I do, like I used to do loads of dark on the corners and then loads of light in the middle, but I maybe don't necessarily need to do that. And I used to never wear eyeliner because I just found that it made my eyes look so very small. But I think that maybe I could wear eyeliner now as well. Someone also asked, like, how is your overall health? My overall health at the moment is really, really good. I feel like I'm in a really good place. If you've followed me for a long time, you'll know I've been on like a journey with my hormones, HRT, supplements, fitness, you know, eating the right things. And I feel like for the past year, it's actually been going really well. I'm feeling really good. But of course, ask me any other questions that you have in the comments down below, and I'll be happy to reply to those. I always check my comments, so don't think no one's looking down there. I'm definitely going to reply. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And once again, thank you so much for being so positive and so lovely about the whole procedure and everything. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next one.